In this video, we're gonna be taking a look at the Peak Design Travel Backpack. I'm Tom, the founder of Pack Hacker, and we love helping people optimize their travel experience with guides and reviews just like this one. So if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing if you wanna see more content like this. Never miss an update. Let's jump right into the Peak Design Travel Backpack. Some really smart, innovative thinking going on here. And I've personally been testing this pack for 3 weeks and 2 flights. Let's jump right in. Oh, and one more thing, one of the great things about a pack like this is the greater system that comes along with it. Although it's a little bit too much for this video, give the first comment a thumbs up if you'd like to see an in-depth review on the tech pouch, wash pouch, packing cubes, and camera cubes that go along with the greater Peak Design travel system. At the time of the Kickstarter, the Peak Design Travel Backpack comes in 2 different colors. You have the black on black, which is the one that we have opted for, and they also offer it in a sage color, which is a little bit greener than the ash color that's offered on the everyday backpack. And Peak Design definitely releases their bags in a lot of different colorways, so we're curious to see if they try anything a little bit later this year or early next to release the pack in different colors. We'll see. Each color uses the same material. It's a 400D nylon canvas, and then you have a 900D nylon canvas at the bottom that's gonna help protect from additional abrasions, and it has a slightly rubbery feel to it as well. And speaking of setting your pack down, it does a great job at keeping its form even while it's empty due to the high density foam padding around a lot of parts of the pack. So it definitely keeps its shape even when empty. Overall, the pack is sleek and minimal, even with all the crazy features going on inside of it. So Peak Design did a great job at balancing aesthetic and function when it comes to this one. And of course, aesthetics are always subjective. So before this review, we had a poll on our Instagram, as we do with a lot of different bags, and here are the results. If you'd like to get involved for that for next time, be sure to go follow at Pack Hacker on Instagram. We'd love to have you involved in future polls. Wrapping up the materials, there is a DWR coated polyurethane liner, aluminum hardware, and on the black version, we found that the coating can scratch a little bit after a bit of use. And then there are a bunch of zippers on this thing. Some are YKK and some are Zoom zippers, and we're a little bit confused with that choice. We've got a bit of a bone to pick with it, which we'll cover later on in this video. All right, let's start with the external features going on with this pack. There's definitely a ton going on, so let's get started with the harness system, one of our favorite, most innovative pieces of the pack. All right, starting with these shoulder straps, we have Peak Design's rotatable shoulder straps here, kind of a signature thing that they've done with other packs, including their everyday backpack. That's really great for getting the pack into side access mode while you're wearing it, as well as hiding the strap system, which we'll get into in a second. The straps themselves offer some high density foam, definitely comfortable here, more comfortable than the Peak Design everyday backpack. So just note that they've definitely improved upon that system that they had going on with the previous pack. And then they also feature aluminum glide hardware on these straps themselves, which are good. At the end, we've got a plastic keeper going on here. A little bit different than most companies end up using some kind of elastic. This one's plastic. It can be a little bit harder to get back on if it falls off, like during transit. Probably have to take the bag off and fiddle with it a little bit. If you want to see one of our favorite strap hiding systems, go check out the Evergoods MPL30. That thing offers really incredible ways to hide and manage excess straps. And of course, we have a detachable sternum strap here. This is stored in the permanent position. There's also a temporary way to store it on the side. And one little minor detail with this is that it's fully detachable, which is great. Although it's kind of a little bit easier to detach than we'd like to see. One side grips a little bit harder than the other. However, it still comes off a little bit easy. So that always makes us a little nervous when it's, easy to take these off, definitely easy to lose. Peak Design does offer replacements on their site for like 10 or 20 bucks, but just keep an eye on it while you're using it and make sure that doesn't fall off. And then we've got this hideable hip belt at the bottom here, which has that signature rotating system as well, just like the straps have. On the wearer's left-hand side, there is a 3D stretchy mesh-like pocket going on that's gonna work for flatter items even stiffer items because there's a little bit of give and you can still wrap this thing around you. On the wearer's right-hand side, you have additional attachment points for things like the field pouch and other accessories that Peak Design sells. This hip belt is next to perfect. There's the right amount of padding, it's the right size, and it's stowable when you don't want to use it. The one nitpick we'd have is on the aluminum hardware. It takes a little bit getting used to that bouldering hook while you're attaching it. It's a little bit harder than say like a plastic buckle or something like that. Once you get used to it, easy to use and just a great experience overall, provides a nice carry. And now onto the main event. Everything on this harness system is hideable fast. First, you slide the hip belt in. Then you rotate the strap and hide that away as well. Now you're really close to a dangle-free experience. So you basically have no extra straps hanging off of this thing, which is really great. And this handle here can be used to carry it in duffel mode, or it's a pass-through system for your roller luggage. And while the strap is folded out, you can fold that hider flap. It gives you a little extra padding here, offers a little more airflow. One small note here, when you're putting the hip belt away, make sure it's as flat as possible because you can feel it in your back slightly as you're carrying it around. And lastly, there's a luggage tag indicated by this little icon here. You can put in your information there if you ever lose your pack. One thing about this, although it's uglier, windowed usually works a little bit better for something like this, or just hanging a tag right off of your pack. You want that to be a little bit more obvious so that a Good Samaritan or a baggage attendant can quickly identify whose bag this is if you lost it. And also a quick note from Peak Design, the production versions will have Velcro here. Ours is just open, it's a little bit shallow. They're gonna deepen it a little bit, add some Velcro. This is the pre-production copy of this pack. The side water bottle pocket here is big enough to fit your huge Nalgene bottle, as well as this larger Swell bottle that we have. And now, while this is being used by either a water bottle or a tripod, this side is gonna be curved here. But one thing to note is that there is a pocket here that's good for hiding items of any type. So you can fit a larger plus size iPhone in there, or just little quick grabs, things that you wanna keep away, maybe your passport. It's a secure pocket. The zipper is pretty much hidden, but flatter items aren't gonna work as well when you have something inside of this water bottle pocket, so just note that. But there is a ton of expandability here. The pockets are gusseted, allowing for more room. And again, you can fit that huge Nalgene bottle in here as well. There's still ample space, even with this massive Swell one. There are a total of 4 grab handles on this pack, which we love. There's one at the top, nicely padded, good if you want to keep it flush against the wall, hang it up on a hook or something, maybe in the grimy airport bathroom. You don't have to set this thing down. 2 on the side, which are good for quick grabs, although they aren't centered, so the weight's a little bit awkward when you grab it. Perfect for just like grabbing out of an overhead bin, but for more longer distance carry, not quite as good. And lastly, there's one on the bottom here as well, just if you want to use it to quickly grab your bag. So that's great, grabbable from all sides, we love that. On the front side, there's a bit of a sneaky hidden pocket going on here. This is a magnetically closed pocket that's gonna hold lash straps. And ours didn't come with them. We think the Peak Design either forgot about them, or in our 3-week trip of testing this thing really hard, they fell out. Hopefully that's not the case, but I think they just forgot to include them. So similar system that they use on the Peak Design Everyday Backpack, which we reviewed. That magnetic pocket is also great for holding a rain fly. If you get caught in a torrential downpour, good to have that as an option for some additional weather protection on top of what Peak Design already offers with this pack. And outside we have a bunch of lash tabs on the pack. There are so many configurations that can be used and customized to hold your gear no matter what it is. Peak Design has even put lash tabs on the interior of the water bottle pockets. Super high customizability here. Lastly, there are 2 compression features on this pack. There are 2 zippers on the front panel exterior to add a little bit more leader space to that front panel. And there's also a handy button system that comes together, makes the pack a little bit more slim towards the top and cuts it down and compresses it a little bit. It's important to note that the button compression system placement is not final, and Peak Design is still working on that. So when they launch the bag, the positioning may be adjusted a little bit, but the function's the same. Moving on to the inside of the pack at the top here, you've got a pocket here with some stretchy mesh going on the inside. Gonna be good to hold anything that you want quick access to. You got a passport in there. Basically anything that is in your pockets as you're traveling through the airport is probably gonna fit into here. Just kind of a nice space to have everything quickly accessible. Moving on to the interior of the front panel. We've got some smart organization going on here. So if we just take a look at this top mesh area, It's kind of an interesting, kind of plasticky, rubbery feeling mesh going on here. Pretty good for visibility. You can see what's going on inside of there. Open that right up. I like that the zipper is a bit curved, so it allows you to have good access. So we've got a larger battery pack here on the side, outlet converter, of course, pack hacker patch, because we love branding. Got that going on. 2 pockets for longer items like pens or something like that. Thought these pockets would be a little bit tighter for the pens. Just note that as long as you have them kind of attached like this, they won't slide around. But again, this is lay flat. The organization here is, completely optional. You can just use this as a ordinary pocket without any of the separation if you'd like as well. And then towards the bottom, got a similar pocket here. Gonna be using that liner, so you can just stuff in flatter items here. Dig in that. And then when we flip it around, we've got more pockets going on here. So a half mesh pocket and then a liner pocket at the bottom. And this system is really great because the pockets are accessible from each side of the bag. So it's accessible from the main leader compartment and then accessible from the front side as well. And this separator unzips and you can stuff it into itself in the bottom of the main compartment of the pack into a small pocket and just use the bag basically as a giant duffel, just massive capacity. This is one of the innovations that make the travel backpack from Peak Design really great and unique. And keep in mind, this is the extra fabric that allows the pack to expand when you unzip those side compression zips. So you can access that main compartment through here or one more way on the backhand side, which we'll get to now. So you basically have 2 zippers going on here. Just unzip those and boom, you have access to the main compartment of this pack. These are the Peak Design travel pouch systems. Again, if you want to see that, just thumbs up the first comment and we'll definitely dive into those and all the detail there. But want to get into this main compartment first. One note on zippers, we're really curious as to why Peak Design didn't include YKK zippers across the entirety of this pack. There are some on some of the internal pockets. However, the 2 side access zippers, as well as the main one that's opened on the main compartment, appear to be Zoom zippers, a different brand. YKK zippers are on just about every heavy-hitting travel pack that's in more of the premium category. Tortuga, Air, Track, Topo Designs, Heim Planet, Cotopaxi, Manal, GoRuck, the list goes on. A lot of these manufacturers that are more on the premium end of bags choose YKK because of their durability and the quality is unmatched. One of our contacts have been using the Peak Design Everyday Messenger and they've gone through 2 because the main zipper has broken on them. Another contact had the zipper break on her everyday backpack from Peak Design. In all 3 of these cases, Peak Design has handled the return and exchange of the broken zippers gracefully. They've replaced it with little to no questions asked and provided great customer service. However, that customer service and warranty isn't going to do super well if you're using this bag in a remote village in Thailand and the zipper breaks. That's where you're going to run into issues, especially on the placement of this main zipper. It sort of renders the pack useless if it were to break. You can't really use the harness system, and it's definitely hard to close without that. It's one of the key components of the pack, and where it's positioned, there seems to be a lot of pressure going on in the zipper as well. So time will tell if these zippers break like we've seen in the Messenger and the Everyday pack. Although it's a high numbered number 10 zipper, it's not YKK, and especially on a premium bag like this, that gives us a little bit of concern. Okay, that was a ton on zippers. Let's go back to the main compartment. Basically, you're greeted with a giant bucket that works well with Peak Design's dedicated travel accessories and packing cubes. You don't need to use their system, however, it helps as they size them specifically for this pack. And on the sides, you're gonna note some elastic loops going on here. And that's actually for the integration of their camera cube system. So it offers a little bit more padding, locks right in, holds your lenses, holds your camera gear in place. Again, we can dive a little bit more into that in a later video if there is interest. Moving on to the laptop compartment, this is actually pretty easy to access just if you unzip that zipper to about here. So that's nice. And then there's ample space in here for a laptop, nicely closed by this Velcro. Then you have a separate tablet partition on the inside. One small issue with that tablet partition is that the Velcro target is a little bit small and a little bit tight, so it's kind of hard to accurately Velcro down unless you're looking at it. Now in contrast, this is a lot more Velcro, just easier to close without even looking at it. That main compartment is also accessible from the zippers on the side, so if you have things strategically positioned in here, Unzip that from the side, grab what you need. This is especially handy for the camera cube insert. Keeps your camera easy to grab, easy to access. One last feature to notice here is that all the zippers on this are lockable with O-rings, and they come with some additional securing features as well. The zippers on the front side are secureable via a loop at the bottom. The side zips attach to a toggle inside of the pack. And then these big zippers secure to one another via a loop and button system. None of these are completely foolproof. They are just deterrents. However, it's enough to where if a thief is quickly rifling through everything, they'll likely just pass by your bag if they are unable to access it quickly. At the time of this review, I've been testing this bag for 3 weeks and on 2 flights as well. So I've been to Detroit, Minneapolis, and then northern Minnesota for a cabin. Definitely had a versatile setting to test this bag in. Overall, it's been a joy to use, and after inspection, not much has gone wrong with the pack besides a slight scratch in the black aluminum hardware on the sternum strap. No visible marks on the exterior after the 3 weeks, and no problems with the zippers yet. So to wrap this thing up with some pros and cons, holistically, there is some really great design going on across this pack. It has the most innovative and the fastest harness hiding strap system to date. And lastly, it's fit for a wide varieties of carry. You can almost get away with this thing as an EDC if you like a bigger bag around the 30-35 liter range. Then it goes all the way up to 45 if you want to carry larger stuff, not to mention the integratable camera systems as well. On to some of the cons. The zipper choice really puzzles us. The sternum strap comes off a little bit more easily than we'd like to see. And lastly, these side handles provide a bit of a funky, imbalanced carry. Good for just quick grabs, but you're not going to be able to use this thing in briefcase mode. Overall, the design of the Peak Design travel backpack is a thing of innovative beauty. There are so many features going on here that we just haven't seen in many other packs. It brings a fresh take to the travel backpack market. With all that said, some of the choices on materials, specifically the zippers, left us scratching our head a little bit on the durability side of things. And time will tell on that durability piece as they get these packs out into the market. Thanks for taking a look at our review on the Peak Design travel backpack. We know that picking a travel backpack can be tough. That's why I made an entire guide on it and 4-part video series. So be sure to check that out. You can help identify the best travel backpack for you. Thanks for checking this out. We'll see you in the next video.